Hello everyone, it is California Bird here with another awesome kit from Brickmania. So today we're going to be reviewing the Messerschmitt BF109. So this is the 2018 version by Codio Cell. I'm going to go ahead and build this real fast and I'll be right back. Alright, so it's all put together now. So once again, this is the 2018 Brickmania BF109 as designed by Codio Cell. So this kit has a lot of playable features for an aircraft as you'd expect to have from Brickmania. We got the spinnable propeller, which is almost a given by this point. I mean, if you're going to get an aircraft in LEGO, you have to have a spinning propeller, obviously. You also have this landing gear, which I thought was assembled pretty uniquely. So instead of having only one rotational axis, what they did is they used a ball and socket joint underneath. And so this allows rotation fore and aft and then also outwards. And what's nice about this is you can put the landing gear at the angle that it should be for BF109, which is kind of like a little bit forward and out, right? And then you can rotate it up and back and fit it right into those wheel spots very nicely. And they just fit snugly in there. There's no lot of kind of finagling or like trying to squeeze a tire to fit into any places. It fits really nicely, so that's pretty nice. Folds up and then it just folds back down. I also enjoy the use of the tile elements for the camouflage. I always enjoy using actual Lego bricks for colorization. Printed elements are also nice. I guess I'm just a little bit against stickers, which is also why I haven't put any stickers on this aircraft. But speaking of printed elements, there are several on the aircraft itself. So we have a printed elements on the sides here, which have the German Air Force logo and then some camouflage patterns. This is actually really cool. I very much enjoy the color matching that they were able to do with the dark green and the dark green that's on this actual piece here. And I mean, it's obvious that they're probably trying to do this to save on part count, but at the same time, just adding the printing makes it look really nice, especially because I normally don't like putting stickers on things, and because this is like a curved portion of the fuselage, right? And so to maintain that curvature with a sticker would be kind of difficult. So the printing makes it just look nice and seamless. We also have printing along the side of the fuselage for some more camo, and also some printed elements at the front denoting where the gun barrels would be. So that is pretty nice. As far as like building techniques on this, it's pretty nice. The wings are probably as thin as you can go. It still is very swooshable. It's not going to fall apart on you. But it basically is two plates thick, with the third plate being just cosmetic. So that's about basically the thinnest you can go for structural reasons, right? Because you can't have a one plate thick object. It's not going to hold together. But it's able to hold together very nicely there. And then also some cool techniques that were done on the bottom. For example, the rear portion of the fuselage leading into the lower empennage of the aircraft has bricks that are built in an upside down fashion, as you can kind of see here. I'm pulling away. This really makes the tapering nice and gives a nice smooth line, as opposed to, say, the upper portion of the fuselage, which looks a bit blockier. One thing that I wasn't super happy about on this, though, was the fact that on the wing here, if you are trying to swoosh it around, so going back to the wings, if you do try to swoosh this aircraft around and you happen to just flick your finger a little bit, you can push the leading edge out of its slot. It's not really held in. For those of you who've seen the Sturmgewehr model, the Brickmania IL-2 model, it does also have a tapered leading edge, but the tapering on it, it's held in with other bricks. This one's kind of free floating. Now it is not the easiest thing to do, so it still does have good build quality, but I would just say like that's one thing to note. Like that's just one of the negatives that the kit has. Something that is nice, though, compared to other aircraft that Brickmania had made in the past, is how easy it is to open the cockpit. On this one, you just literally lift off these two like dowel pieces, which are connected by a little arm, and then you can plop your minifig right inside. Alright, now looking over at the minifig himself. So he is a black head, which I'm saying the color of the headpiece is actually black. It's not a yellow piece, which we traditionally would have. And then the face is printed yellow, and then we have a printed gas mask. I'm a little surprised that Brickmania did not choose to go with some of the gas masks that LEGO makes. or even their own gas masks. Though of course I understand that maybe they were trying to cut cost a little bit there, which is totally understandable to keep this affordable. What is interesting though is that there's printing on the bottom and top of the character's arms. It's like basically black on black for the arms, so I'm a little bit confused why you have that. It's nice for the detailing, don't get me wrong, but I just wonder if they're going a little bit overboard with the printing machine over there. But it is cool. And then of course we have the actual vest. He's got a little either watch or maybe altimeter gauge. It looks more like a watch, I think. And then little vests. He's got his eagle and then his iron cross. So that's cool. And then there's also printing on the back of the character, basically showing some wrinkles in the leather jacket. So overall, the minifig is really cool and pretty unique. I don't think that Brickmania is selling this minifig outside of this kit, as far as I am aware. So that is pretty cool. Just a little history about the BF109 itself. This was Germany's mainstay fighter through most of the war. There were over 33,000 of the BF109 models produced. There were several different missions that they performed, but mostly it was intercept and interdiction and basically a general fighter role. The BF109 was first produced in the late 1930s and saw combat in the Spanish Civil War. And then the last ones weren't retired until like the late 1950s. I believe the Swiss and some of the Nordic countries were still using BF109s well into the 1950s. Seems to be like a late war BF109, at least by the coloring, and probably from the Eastern Front. You have like the dark gray and the green patterns, and then you have again like dark gray with white patterns and minimal yellow. For those of you who've looked at BF109s over the history of the war, you know, during the early portion of World War II, there were a lot of yellow-nosed ones that were used like in the Battle of France and Battle of Britain. This one, of course, doesn't have that. So I believe it is an Eastern Front coloration. I didn't look too heavily at BF109 source material, so if you know exactly what fighter group or squadron this came from, that'd be really interesting to know. I just didn't have the time to put into looking that up yet. So in summary with this kit, I would say that it is a solid buy if you were already considering buying it. This isn't necessarily something to just jump onto if you're just like, oh, I need to buy Legos to buy Legos. I mean, if you want a BF109, definitely go for it. And if you wanted this kit, definitely don't not go for it. So go for it if you wanted to get it. I'd say it's pretty solid. You've got these unique printed elements, which are nice. You have this really cool minifig person, and as a display model this would be great because you have the landing gear that you can put at the proper angle and it looks really good, it sits really nicely, and it looks very proportional to what a BF109 for the late war, like the Eastern Front, should look like, which is really nice. And also for playability, it's very swooshable. You can hold the fuselage and just like fly this around and you're not gonna have to worry about it falling apart and whatever. And you can even hold it by the wingtip and swoosh it around and not worry about it falling apart. So it's solid as a playable model and it's solid as a display model as well. So I'd say it's a really solid model. So if you were planning on getting this, I'd definitely say to go for it. And I hope that Brickmania continues to make models of this quality going forward. They seem to be improving their quality like every year, which is really good. I'm really loving their stuff. I really love like the new boxes that they have and everything. So it's pretty cool. So definitely a big thumbs up for this set from myself. And if you want to see more kits like this and more airplanes from Brickmania reviewed by me, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it 2 big thumbs ups. Anyway, this has been California Bird. See ya.